Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's Twin Flame Lover. Hi, it's Dr. Amanda Noelle, and today we're going to do a little Q&A on. So we have a question for this Q&A Tuesday, and it is coming from Candace, and she says, "What is my pussy power and how do I manifest what I want and need?" So if you are somebody who is looking for more passion in your life, if you're looking to have passion in your relationship that's sustainable, if you know that you came to this planet for a reason that is bigger than to just have a home and a dog and a cat and a kid and the picket fence, if you're here with a specific mission, or if you feel that something's missing and you have a lot of energy, creativity that is going sort of like half used, or maybe even just you're not feeling fulfilled with your passion, with your life, then this video is for you. So why is it important to unblock what I call our pussy power, or just our passion? We can start with that. By the way, when I talk about pussy power, some people get really weirded out. And those of you who know me, you know that I help smart, conscious women to attract their ultimate beloved. And it's really important to know that our womb spaces, as well as our head spaces, are going to be that twin flame manifestation, because it's feminine and masculine, yin and yang, mind up here and mind down here. So our womb space is actually a source of intelligence. It's a source of creativity, of intuition. And our mind represents the more masculine aspect. Of course, there's yin and yang within each. So we have a left and a right brain that is a feminine, masculine aspect of our mind. And then we have a left and a right ovary, or we have, a more like masterful womb that can birth children and be strong. I love that saying. Somebody was telling me the other day, like, I forget who said this, but yeah, I'm sure you've heard this quote about how, women should get more credit, because although guys get credit for having balls, it's the pussy that takes the freaking beating. Well, I'm actually talking here about the feminine power that we have endured so much as women. We've survived through a lot. Women birth children through the birth canal. So we have yin and yang in everything. And for a long time, we have been conditioned to overvalue the masculine. Masculine represented by the more intellectual, the more logical, the more academic, the more here and now physical manifestation of the mind. In its left brain aspect. So a lot of women who are naturally feminine will feel dumb, will feel stupid, will feel not good enough. A lot of times in our society, we value artists less than our doctors. We value our intuitive healers, our shamans that work with, the more feminine, the more pagan, the more ancient ways, the modalities that were given to us by our ancestors, as being less important than our MDs, even though it's not always one or the other that's better. Sometimes they go actually best together in a holistic, integrative model. So we come from, an ancient lineage that at some point went from being more feminine to becoming overly masculinizing. Now we're kind of coming back saying, hey, we can't just put people on prescription drugs. We can't just carve up countries and have colonies and wars. We really do have to listen to our feminine. So if you are here still watching this video, by the way, I see gorgeous people here. Thank you for showing up in the comments. I would love to hear more from you. Whether you're here live or watching the replay, love your comments. Thank you for supporting yourself and for supporting this channel. It's been a dream of mine to have this level of consistent connection with you all. And, it's just amazing. I've had this channel for a couple of years now, and it's just hit 12,000 views and 12,000 viewers who are subscribed. So subscribe if you haven't. And I don't even know how many. I think we're getting to 3 million views or something. So thank you, thank you, thank you. This is so special. All right, so one of my passions is this channel, and it's a great example of how did I find this passion? How does one find their passion? In the same way that I started my channel, I think is a great way for those like Candace. So Candace really is asking, how do I find my soul purpose? How do I find my pussy power? She asked it in two different ways. And I thought she meant, when she said pussy power, I thought she meant passion. And then I saw the other post. So if you are not aware, there is actually a connection with our sexual energy and our passion. So women who are often really low on libido, sometimes they've drained their libido energy into raising their children, or they've drained their libido energy into a huge business or arts and craft project because their marriage hasn't worked out. So first of all, if Candace were my client, I would sit down and look at, when were you most passionate in your life in different areas? I would have you look at, when was your relationship with your sexuality most juicy? Now, we all go through hormone changes. The female body goes through different phases. I know I'm going through a shift because I'm 38 now. My body is like, last call, lady. If you want to listen to these ovaries, you got to listen now. So we go through these gestation cycles, these really death and rebirth cycles in our bodies, and those can actually have a huge impact. Those hormone shifts in a woman's body can have a huge impact on her mindset. It can also make her crazy for some guy. I know we don't talk about this enough because, a lot of the psychological frameworks were designed by men, Jung, Freud. A lot of the psychological research was founded in a very left-brained way of thinking. And I love Jung and I love Freud. I know they do a lot of plant medicine and they were on some level in touch with the feminine. However, there's not a lot of conversation about, hey, what stage of life are you in? Are you super crazy over some guy because he's, your childhood patterns are coming up? Are you crazy over this guy because of some childhood patterns and because your body is going, I need to have a baby right now, and I'm terrified that if this guy doesn't work out, then, oh my gosh, I'm going to mess it up. So I know I went through this. When I had my twin flame counterfeit, it was literally, the initiation happened right on the window of my 30th birthday. And for me, in my mind's eye, that represented kind of my last window of kind of the Vestal Virgin. I wasn't a virgin by any means, but it was kind of like, I'm still fresh. I haven't been really wounded yet. I'm still, I believe in love, and my body is still young. And I knew that if it didn't work out with him, I would be a mother much later in life, because I would have to find someone new and do the healing and move on. So hopefully I've brought together the connection between your hormones, your body, your mindset is connected to your hormones. Our moods and our moons are very connected, which is why we're all coming to the new moon ceremony. I will see you there, of course, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Twin Flame Self-Love Booty Camp, and that is the most important step. So make sure you come tomorrow. It's free. It's AphroditeUniversity.org. I know some of you are really excited. We have hundreds of women registered. It's going to be an awesome upgrade for all of us. I've already been having massive twin flame miracles happening just by being your healer. That's another thing I wanted to mention is, if you don't know what you're doing, like, what is my passion? Is it to be a doctor, or is it to go into this thing or that thing, or am I supposed to be with this twin flame or that guy, or what's the path? So the universe is going to show us not just one path. It's going to show us actually an infinite number of passions, and within the path there's going to be another infinite number of potential veins. If you want to look really closely at under the microscope at your capillaries, it just keeps going and dividing and growing, and things are always moving here on Gaia. So while there is an infinite number of choices, there's also going to be that finite thing of, what is my next step today? What am I doing this morning? And knowing that what I do today is going to have a huge impact on what happens in the next day and the next day and the next day. So we want to be really committed and conscious as to what we are choosing, what foods we're putting into our bodies, what people we're hanging out with, what outfits we're putting on. If we're putting on black and our mood doesn't feel good, take it off. So being very intentional in the moment, asking yourself, what brings me passion? What brings me joy right now? So I'm not going to give away all the secrets, but tomorrow at Twin Flame Self-Love Booty Camp, I am going to be talking about how to do a self-worth life makeover. The self-worth life makeover, I'll talk about what that is deeper. But essentially, there are so many people that are living a lifestyle that's based on fear, that's based on previous conditioning. It's like following a religion from thousands of years ago before there was technology, saying that the world was flat, and still believing that today with satellite technology. And so we often have these beliefs from our childhood or from our past lives about how valuable we are, about how beautiful we are, about how smart we are, and even about like how much passion we can have. And we live our lives through this really narrow framework. And so when we have a choice on what is our passion, we want to really remember why we came here. Going back to the original creation of our soul. Why did your soul come to be? Now, everybody's going to have a slightly different version of it. It's going to be as unique as your thumbprint, as your soul's blueprint. Why are you here? What is your purpose? It's going to be so unique to you, and it's going to hold a unique frequency. And why I love working with my womb energy and seeing other women work with their womb energies is it's actually a literal metaphor for how unique we are. Our yonis look different. And when I say yoni, I mean chalice or vagina, not just vagina, but the whole womb. But if you look at a woman's yoni or even her face, we are all so unique and different, and we can see that we all have a similar thing going on, but we're also so unique, and that vibration is also the same as our soul. We have a signature soul song. Ultimately, my friends, this soul purpose is love. It's to love and be loved, and every aspect, every turn on the journey, every initiation you've gone through is to forget love so that you can, yes, remember love, so that you can go back to love and come back with a greater sense of inspiration and truth. So many of you wonder, why did I go down dark and dirty into my grave with my twin flame counterfeit? Why did I have to go through so much pain? You might be wondering right now in your life, why do I feel half alive? Why am I not passionate? Where is my libido? Where is my passion? Where is my twin flame? The spark of hope is always alive within you. And you might have gone through a lifetime or two, maybe even this lifetime, of some stuff that put some dampening on your flame. But the key is to remember that love never dies. It's an eternal flame. And your eternal spark can always come back to its full ignition when you spark it. So one of my biggest tips before we wrap up in the next couple of minutes, somebody was asking, are we at the beginning or the end? It's going to be a little bit shorter today because I want to save up for tomorrow. We're going to do such a big, juicy Twin Flame Self-Love Boot Camp. And I want to self-care. I went on a huge retreat this weekend where I got an amazing new brand. I can't wait to show the photos. Little hint for that is there's going to be the theme of water, goddess, yoni. It's going to be really exciting to see what the art team comes up with, but that's what I have for now. So anyways, I'm going to give you a couple of takeaways that you could integrate today, and then we'll start massaging this in. And then tomorrow we're going to do the full body scrub self-care booty camp for 75 minutes together on Zoom video. All right, so keep stoking the flame on a microcosmic level, meaning every single day. It is your job, no one else's. People can help you out, but this is your job ultimately. You're the manager of this project to keep your bliss building. Build your bliss. What I mean by that is do everything in your life from a high vibrational place and ask yourself, how can I make this a little bit more blissful? If you're doing your own taxes or, dealing with headaches and stuff, like, can I put essential oils on? Can I put some music on? Can I go, I hate my taxes. I love you, IRS, but I'm going to scream at you, or when it feels good. We can get stuck in this lower vibration. Believe me, the codes on this planet are insanely old. They are out of date. We are living in pre-biblical times. The codes are like the Stone Age, and we're these modern day high priestesses of the Pleiades going, what is going on? Why are we so slow? Like we're higher dimensional beings, ignited and ascended, coming down and descending into this planet that's kind of like, ugh. So don't go into agreement with being bored, with being half alive, or even with wanting to go home and dying, because you're going to miss out. This is the paradise. We get to create heaven on earth, and it's no different if you go back home. You're going to have this regret that you didn't take advantage of this fertile soil. So to ignite your bliss, to nourish your seed of bliss, what can you do in your morning to wake up your body, to get inspired? What can you do to make your life more juicy? Sometimes we have responsibilities that we don't want to deal with. I've helped my clients navigate out of jobs that they don't like, that they've been stuck in for years. And it can be really scary to let go of those golden handcuffs. I'm actually working with a doctor, an anesthesiologist, who wants to unlock her powers as an ancient priestess. She's so incredibly powerful, and yet that conditioning has been forcing so many of us light workers into either working for money as slaves or working for nothing as powerful healers. And now we have to come together and bridge all the sides of dark and light, that part of you that struggles. Don't forget about her. That slave, that part of you that's depressed and sad. That's the good stuff, my friend. That's the earth. That is the darkness to descend that seed into, plant it, and come up. So we do need constant watering with bliss. Before I sat down to meditate for this video, I did a masturbation. I self-pleasured and I had a wonderful orgasm, because that brings glow to my skin. I feel youthful. I feel alive. I feel like I can do more for the world when I fill my cup up. Other things that I'll do if I'm like, I feel stuck on a project, I'll bring my watercolors out, because I love color. I love flow. I love going from what is it supposed to be to just making a painting, like finger paints, like simple splotches of color and swirls, and then getting ideas from that go, I'm going to put this into my training. When I did the information, the content for Twin Flame Self-Love Booty Camp, which I've been preparing for the last month with tender loving care, giving you some of my best hacks and tips and secrets to fall in love with yourself, to remember the sacred ancient codes of the goddess of love. I actually had to just surrender it and go into the flow. So Jack and I actually went to Barton Springs, this holy grail of spring water pools, every single day, minus maybe a couple days for the last month, we've been going and bathing in this water. And you've probably maybe seen some of the pictures on Facebook and Instagram. Join me on Instagram and Facebook. If you don't, I'm Dr. Amanda Noelle on everything, Pinterest too, and probably LinkedIn, although I don't hang out there too often. So passion, 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 fire it up. And I do feel that if you're really blocked in your pussy power, in birthing your feminine soul purpose, like your mind might know, okay, I'm supposed to help people, but you just feel in your feminine, your womb space in your heart, like I need to do something different. And it's not getting validated. I'm scared. There's almost like terror around it. Well, then it's your job to mother this terrified blissness baby. That's why in my MBA program at Aphrodite University, I walk women through the fear to help them launch their blissness. Because a woman who is in fear, it's going to be a lot less scary for her to go to a standard university, a traditional university, and have a standard 9-to-5 job. It might be hard, it might be stressful, it might be depleting, it might be exhausting, she might hate it, but she still might choose that. Because when we follow our bliss, not only when we follow our bliss, but when we value it as if it is a sacred vehicle to the divine, and we put our all into it as if it is our sacred union, our twin flame. You know, my favorite saying is, when we see the world and treat the world as our entire twin flame, let's see, how do I say it? When we see the world as our twin flame, then we're ready for our twin flame. When you treat your blissness, your money, your career, your terror, your fear of being judged, your fear of making a YouTube live like I'm doing here, this is scary. There are crazy people out there. There are people that are religious fanatics that want to do all kinds of stuff to, like dark stuff. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I come back to the most powerful place in my soul. Even though parts of me might quiver a little bit, there's a part of me that comes back to who I am, my I am self. And that is unconditional, infinite, eternal love. And it is divine. And it's going to be powerful than any ego, any dark force, any attacker. And I've seen miracles come through, absolute freaking miracles, number synchronicities. And it's happened so many times that even though on a weekly basis, I'll go through negative thought patterns of like, oh, what's going to happen if this, or oh, this person doesn't like me. But again, saturate your bliss button, like keep putting your thoughts in a place, in a state of bliss. Keep putting your body in a state of bliss. Keep putting your twin flame union in a state of bliss. So many women wonder, how come I haven't met my twin flame? How come I've had this guy chasing me from high school who won't leave me alone in my psychic space? And why do I have this drama and that drama? When all they're doing is wondering, why do I have this drama and that drama? When the more beneficial, more powerful approach is always going to be, I take responsibility for my thoughts, for my actions, and I stay positive and I saturate my bliss in the most juicy feminine flow. So a lot of my courses at Aphrodite University, I'll use exercises like creative dance or poetry or watercoloring or being in just feminine ritual space. That is something that's just kind of considered crazy or useless. I know I've had my twin flame was like, why do you have an altar? What are those crystals for? And that bowl of salt water? And why are you practicing rituals? Are you a satanic practitioner or something? And I'm like, absolutely opposite. I am a goddess of love that uses the elements that our body is made up of to symbolize all the directions and dimensions and elements. And using ritual has served me and my clients to instantly manifest results. And every single religion uses different rituals. And it's all based originally on the pagan foundations. And some of them are using symbols of Satan. And some of them are using symbols of Venus, and some of them are using symbols of Mars. It's all based on old stuff. I do happen to know that there's a lot of Saturn energy in the Catholic Church, which represents and is connected to the planet Saturn. A lot of the symbolism with the horns, which you can see in David Icke's videos, represents Saturn, or some say Satan. And it's a natural part. We have all aspects of us. I know I can be a satanic bitch when, I'm about to get my period for a couple of hours there. And I'm just like, rah! And I'm like, oh, wait, it's that time. We have everything in us. And that's so important. It's so empowering when we can forgive and love that part of ourselves. However, we don't want to let our satanic inner bitch, at Aphrodite University, we call it Aphrodite Androphanos, the killer of men, the murderous archetype. If you work with archetypes, you know that everyone has every archetype in us and that they're real and there is no division from oneness. So whether you're using a 3 archetype system, a 12 archetype, a 100 archetype system, the tarot deck, in all of its different cards, they all represent one of the faces of the divine. And one of the faces of the divine that we're all looking to achieve is the accumulation of both our passion and flow. A lot of light workers are just so creative. They love art and they love music, and they don't want to break a nail like launching their business. They don't want to actually get on phone calls with potential clients and do market research. And they often pick taglines that are totally ineffective. I help people discover their joy. It's like, is anybody with a credit card who's going to pay you $5,000 going to pay you for more joy? No, that's not how the marketplace works. Unfortunately, a lot of the most powerful healers, light workers, influencers, artists, priestesses, lady boss entrepreneurs who are operating from love, even women that have left 7-figure jobs who have a background in marketing, will completely throw out these sacred masculine structures. So while I want you to juice your feminine up, and it's kind of like, like let your yoni get juicy, but and get her turned on, but you're gonna need some physical touch. You're gonna need that masculine, even if it's gentle at first, some penetration, some movement, some physical manipulation. We're going to need to go out in our blissnesses and take action. Otherwise, we're just the light. We're like, light. Meanwhile, it's like, hey, where's the stuff that needs to get done on this planet? Oh, I'm living in a shitty living situation, or my health is falling apart. A lot of high-level channels will let go of control of their bodies, and they'll gain a ton of weight. They'll eat horribly. They'll smoke cigarettes because they're up here. And we can always do that when we die. We can always go back up there. But we're here on earth right now. And we have a secret gift. We have a body temple, a temple of the twin flames to honor and serve. So honoring that masculine and taking action, which means taking your feminine seriously, taking your bliss seriously, and even investing in creating time containers and showing up to take action, and not just waiting for someday, and not just trying to figure it out on your own in your head and getting stuck in layers and layers of unhealthy patterns that were probably just inherited from our ancestors who didn't believe they were good enough. So if you are ready to feel good enough, come and join our sister tribe tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at aphroditeuniversity.org/booty camp. That's APHRODITE.org/BOOTY camp. All one word, booty camp. So I'm going to read some of your comments because with my multidimensional self, I can only focus on so much. Oh my gosh, so many comments. This is so great. So hello from Thailand. So great to see you all here from different places in the world. So I won't be able to read through all of these, but I'm seeing lots of love. And the question, what if your twin flame feels nothing for you? So obviously I talk all the time about your twin flame is your mirror. If you haven't heard of me, I basically teach women that their twin flame is the ultimate mirror of their soul. So if you're choosing, oh, this is that's my twin flame, but they don't care about me, they don't see me, then you're actually choosing to see yourself. Or you're seeing yourself through a mirror where there's some part of you that's not seeing the beauty of your soul, that's not valuing it. So before I would give away my heart to someone and say they're my twin flame, I would really question personally, why is it that I've fallen in love and given my power to someone who doesn't empower me? I'd really look at self-empowerment, women's empowerment. Where in my life did I have a disempowering experience? Or did I grow up in a dysfunctional family with verbal abuse or sexual abuse or emotional neglect? Like so many, even wealthy Americans have very little time with their families, and it's borderline abuse and neglect. I would ask, where does the deep healing work need to go? So that's why I'm offering programs like Twin Flame Self-Love Booty Camp, and then I'll be doing some follow-up Twin Flame self-love work. Twin Flame is self-love. So if you're having an unhappy experience with your twin flame or someone you believe is your twin flame, there's a part of yourself that needs reclaiming and empowering. And I can tell when a woman is twin flame worthy and ready. She doesn't give a fuck. She is so turned on and so activated. And it always happens with a bit of diving deep into the soil, into the death, the descent, letting go of attachment of who it is. I have so many fans and followers that I know who my twin flame is, but he's treating me like dirt. I'm like, girl, you're treating yourself like dirt. Why don't you enjoy it? Why don't you go deep into your dirt? Look at your darkness. Look at the fears. Go back into those traumas. Re-heal them. Hire support. Hire a counselor. Do the deeper work, and you'll dive deep into this new level of self-love. If you are going into the darkness, but you're not really willing to access love, then you're just making it harder for yourself. You're opening more and more of the Akashic records of darkness, and it ends up creating these really difficult negative patterns. Now, I'm not saying that you can't heal them. Amor vincit omnia, amor vincit omnia, amor vincit omnia. Love heals all. And I will say that 3 times in a row when my clients are like, I don't believe I'm healable and fucked up. And I'll just remind them, love heals all. And this is an ancient Latin saying. It's a motto that we have at Aphrodite University to remind you that you're completely free to go as dark as you want to go, but don't forget to turn the light on with love. And that spark of hope will come back. The most difficult woman that I've had to matchmake as a twin flame matchmaker is a woman that has addiction, but who's not willing to look at that. Is a woman who is attached to someone who she thinks is her twin flame, and she's not willing to self-love. Is a woman who's afraid of being wrong. A woman who's afraid of looking at her pain. A woman who it deifies or vilifies a mentor or coach. So deify means to put on a pedestal. For example, sometimes my clients and fans will be like, Amanda, you're so amazing. And I'm like, yes, I am. And so are you. Let's remember this in each other. We're all divine beings. And if you see that in me, thank you, because that means I'm seen, I'm activated in being seen. Now let's give it back to you. The old manipulative guru model was actually to take from the disciple, was to allow the student sometimes to even be abused by saying, I am the guru connected to divine more than you. Ha ha ha. And as much as we can receive flattery and it feels good to actually build up our guru ego, we can create cords with our clients, with our fans, with our followers, and those can go into other lifetimes. We can have really rickety stuff happening with the Akashic records. So do make sure that you come to the new moon. We're going to be talking about the 7 steps to hacking into the Akashic records with the help of Aphrodite. That's happening the day after Twin Flame Self-Love Booty Camp. So just register for Booty Camp and you'll be registered for both the new moon and Booty Camp. Really awesome. awesome deal. It's free. So hopefully that clears things up. If you are wondering why your twin flame's ignoring you, oh my goodness, this is a huge opportunity. You're only seeing a small fraction of yourself. You're like looking above the surface and you're like, where's the water? And you just gotta like look down and you're like, oh, there's a freaking ocean of me to be discovered. The fear of our own oceans is vast because we are infinite beings, internally and externally. We have the infinite ability of the creator inside of us to create new universes. We really, really do. And that is what twin flame alchemy is about. It's about mastering the balance of feminine and masculine, love and fear, darkness, pain, pleasure, and light. So it's really not about what is the right thing, what is my soul purpose, bringing it back. Thank you, Candace, for asking this question. How do I discover my passion, my pussy power, my purpose? How do I ignite the spark within my twin flame? There is not one right way. It is you that has the oyster of this universe. What's that saying? The world is your oyster, but the universe is your oyster. Your universe is the clam that you, as the goddess of love, is going to rise up above the Aphros, the sea foam. Aphrodite comes from the sea. The word Aphros means foam from which she rises. And we truly are representing that myth of the descent of man. Aphrodite was born by the castration of Uranus's balls. Our god of heaven, our divine father, in his beauty and alignment, was basically fragmented and fractured. And Kronos, who is Saturn or Satan, came and snipped his gonads. And through this painful rape of the masculine, Aphrodite was born a full goddess of love who came to heal her father, who came to heal the darkness of the Lord, who has forgotten his light. And truly there is no separation. The time that Kronos, that snipped the balls, such a vulgar myth, right? What were the Greeks thinking? But truly we are all of it. We are the part of ourselves that is cutting ourselves from our power, our love, our beauty, as well as we are the creator that overlooks it. And after maybe some time in negative patterns, I'll be releasing a lot more stuff on holy matrimony, you know, the power of holy matrimony when we marry ourselves from bliss and we marry our pain and alchemize it into that golden bliss. We also can alchemize our money pain from the old paradigm money systems into the new earth. And we can take that dark new world order and turn it into the light new world order. So if you know about the dollar bill, there's a little reference to that, and the Illuminati. I won't go into that right now, but it's our time to rise above the most deep, dense pain of our creation of the past and to create a new. Don't let the fear stop you. Keep going. We're just getting started here, ladies. I will see you tomorrow at the Twin Flame Self-Love Booty Camp. Big initiation day starting tomorrow. So opt in at the link that I'll leave, AphroditeUniversity.org. Oh no, O-R-G, just kidding, but it's going to feel like an orgy for your soul, /booty camp. And I will see you there. Namaste. And I'll see you the day after on the new moon in Cancer. Namaste. Mwah.